The one thing that I noticed during work today is, where is it? Where's that little, it's on this side? Do you see the little piece?
Oh yes, this
Hold it
thing.
out.
Little this dude.
I took those work scissors and I almost went snippy snip. But I didn't. Because that was,
Snippy snip?
yeah, with snizzers.
Snizzers? Not on my
Okay,
sausage.
so what words do you say weird?
Snossage, sneerial.
Did not hesitate. Why? Why do we think that is?
I like the N.
Piper does that too. My sister
Sounds
does
like
that.
snot, you know? Snossage,
Does
sneerial.
it tickle something in your brain?
Uh-huh, for sure. It's like a little monkey up there. Going, wee!
I feel like irrit is the same kind of thing as the whatever I just said, snizzers. So one time, oh my gosh, one time my dad texted me okily dokily. It killed me inside.
That's a Haynes classic.
You think it's my family that does it?
Yeah, for sure.
I also, last night during New Year's celebrations, we did our Be Real. I was getting ready to do my Be Real. I was like, da-da-da-da. I was like, I gotta fart. Okay. So I've never done this before when I farted, but I leaned over and I let one rip. And then I look up and Luke was like, I got that. And so now he has a Be Real.
That's what he got? Oh my
He has a
word.
Be Real
Okay,
with
so
me.
I did not know. He like kept showing me. I was like, what are you talking about?
If you listen really closely, right at the end, you can hear it too. It's
Was it one of
it's a
those,
wet
or was
one.
it-
What?
What type of fart was it?
It was a wet one. That's what I just said. It was like a. I
Do
don't.
it.
You'll just have to. I don't know. Maybe I'll insert a sound here.
No, you're
Because
not.
he got it. He
That's too
got
much
it.
editing.
No. Okay. But anyway, so
Do you like our diffuser in the background? A new addition.
that guy. I mean, this is not gonna be the guest
It's really-
regular,
it's
right? Regular
really,
guest.
It smells good, and it's just.
What does
a
it
vibe.
smell like? Fun fact.
It smells like crunchy people, like freaking granola.
What?
Granola people.
Granola people?
Yeah.
What
Tivas. They go on hikes. They live in Colorado. Essential oil only. It smells like thieves, basically.
Thieves?
Yeah. Thieves
What-
oil.
Oh, that's a brand.
It's a type of oil.
Okay, so you share a fact about me, and I'll share a fact about you because I have one already. Something about this.
Oh,
This
okay,
old
okay,
thing.
okay. I didn't know if you were wanting me to do that
'Cause
one.
I have one
or-
about this old thing.
Okay. Okay, fun fact. So Sage cannot smell. She used to be able to smell just a little bit before COVID, but COVID completely wiped the use of her nose, except for breathing. But like, she can't breathe in the aroma of anything anymore. It's like she can tell what vinegar and bleach are in the air because it's burning in her throat. There's no smell. And peppermint.
Yeah, peppermint burns. Yeah, that's a fun fact about me. And fun
So
fact
fun.
about Grace, she's interested in fragrances.
I love perfumes, and yeah, I just love perfumes. I'm still in college, obviously, and so I can't, drop $1,000 on all these perfumes I want to try. I would like someone else to gift me them, maybe.
It's not a sugar daddy anymore, it's a fragrance daddy.
It's a stranger on the internet. It's a little midnight drop, maybe, into my Venmo.
So many ways that could have gone.
Midnight drop. Speaking of drops, where would you poop?
Oh,
Or where you wouldn't poop?
Proop. Oh, as we're filming this podcast right this moment, we're uploading the New Year's one. So this is January 1st. What's the percentage?
50%.
Huh?
Uploaded 50%.
It literally exported faster than this. No, it didn't. It always exports long. I was going to say that I wouldn't poop at on stage. But then I was like, if it's for art, then I probably would. It like really depends. Like if someone was like, hey, poop right now, on the street, right? Well, maybe I would. Then I'm just trying to think of a time I wouldn't poop. Like I'd poop most places if it's like under certain circumstances. The times I wouldn't poop is when it's like no one really knows, like it's not like socially acceptable, so I wouldn't poop it. Then poop it.
I have gotten more comfortable pooping as just like a normal human thing to do, but okay, this is like a hypothetical. Like if I was at a crush's house and I knew it would leave like a stench behind,
I do it especially then because you got to show them that side of yourself.
you gotta mark your territory.
You gotta be like, this is the worst. So
A crush? It's like I don't even know you as a human yet.
Stool,
I don't want you.
Bowel movements is really, it's kind of integral to my life.
That's true.
So if they are interested, then they gotta know that. Like I'm not about to. For me, for a crush, hey, this kind of transitions well. For me, for a crush, it's like I tend to just come out with all of it. Like not like on the first date, but like I try to just like throw stuff out there to see how they react, and then if they react well, then up a level, all the way to the top.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
It's kind of a hitter. Do you think that you overshare it in that way so you're accepted and you can like test the waters instead of trusting that this friendship or relationship will progress at a natural rate?
No, because I feel like I'm scared of it actually like being anything, and so I like self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's very accurate because I'm like I'm scared of not being in control, so I'm like might as well just like throw this out there.
Yeah.
Here's all my illnesses.
Oh my word.
Here's all the illnesses I've ever gotten. Quite weird. Only old people get this, but I got it at 13. We'll leave that unanswered. Guess in the comments below. I don't want to go down this road.
Okay, backing up. Okay, crushes. My first like childhood celebrity crush was Cody, not Cody.
Cody Co?
No. With the twin, Cole Sprouse.
Oh,
yeah, it was Cole
one.
Sprouse. I thought I liked the nerdier, dorky one instead of like the like what's it, arrogant one.
You mean the extroverted one?
Yeah, I like the introverts.
Sorry, I don't know, because I guess I do like the extrovert, but I like it's like extrovert nerd,
outgoing
musician,
nerd,
film probably, extrovert. You got those 4 things? Check it.
Curly hair.
You're going up a level.
A level.
Innate.
It's +1.
You start like on level 3 if you got these 3 things.
You roll for Riz, but then you get +1 for each.
Exactly. This is a D&D game right now. This is a campaign. My life is a campaign.
Isn't it all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you like that Cole Sprouse sort of introvert, sort of like
introvert, kind of smart.
Can I ask like what kind of nerd though? We have like film nerd, music nerd, coding nerd. We have a geek, which
I think it was just the lesser of 2 evils at that moment. Like Cole, what's his name? Zach?
Oh, you like just weren't that interested?
It was just like the first crush I ever had.
Like the first
like on a celebrity.
Yeah.
The first crush I ever had.
Would you poop in Cole Sprouse's house?
Yeah, hell yeah. He smokes cigarettes. Taking a dump or...
So he doesn't really have class, is what you're saying?
Yeah, he went on all these podcasts and just like complained. I'm like, what are you doing? Just go to therapy like a normal person. Stop.
Maybe he is in therapy. You don't know that. But smoking cigarettes is a form of therapy. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that.
We're not endorsing cigarettes.
I don't know who my first celebrity crush is officially, but I could list like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Although this one's kind of like, I told you about this one last night. This one's kind of a little bit obscure. So if you know this one, I'm actually shocked. Do you remember his name?
No, I do not.
You don't even remember? Ronan and Dex from Stargate Atlantis.
I didn't know that was a childhood
I
thing.
was like 12 years old. That was like the first time I was like,
oh
my gosh, I'm feeling something. Jason Momoa, well done.
From a young age, you like them older men. Young age.
He wasn't that old I guess he was.
You were 12.
I guess I was 12, yeah.
You were 12, honey.
Well, who was I supposed to like? Cole Sprouse.
Cole Sprouse?
I'm trying to think. Oh, Zuko?
I don't know.
He's animated though, so does that count?
Did you watch Disney Channel?
You're watching Disney Channel.
The childhood crush that I can remember that was like real life, like I went to school with this person. He like
real people. Okay, let's go.
He ran like a half marathon at like 7 or 8 years old. He was like a real granola boy. Like his family like was super into health stuff, and he had like freckles and like brown kind of wavy hair. And
oh my gosh, you just unlocked something for me. Okay, continue. I forgot about that.
His dad like traveled a lot for his work, and so for the summer breaks and stuff they would go like international, and they would go traveling, and he'd like come back with all these stories, and it was really cool. In real life I had all crushes on all the funny guys who are like white. I went to a pretty white school, and I like would just giggle at lunch. That's all I did. I would eat my lunch, but then just giggle for like an hour. Or however long lunch was.
The way you just put your microphone down after you said that. Mic drop.
I giggled too much, and then I got feelings.
Well, giggling is good for you. Laughter yoga, baby. Check that out. Laughter yoga is something else.
So I don't know if
it's a mating call. You know, giggling is a mating call. You don't giggle like that? Oh my gosh. You're so funny.
That's something else.
Yeah, the dude's like, he's either like, or he's like, you could take a dump in my house. Like, that's how you scream. You have reached level 7. If I can go as my giggle and it's still good. We good? I've never made that sound before.
You want to make it again?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. I don't know if like now as an adult, oh god, that's so weird to say. Now as an adult, like all the crushes I have, like am I just projecting this like they're funny on them? Am I projecting it on them because as a child all I was attracted to was humor? So they're like the guys I like are not actually that funny. They're like kind of lame. Maybe. It's a question.
I don't know because I can't remember. No, that one dude was pretty funny. The giggler. He giggled. You know what I'm talking about?
I have no clue who you're talking about.
I want to bleep it. But
yeah,
he giggled.
I feel like I didn't like him as a person.
Oh.
I just liked his charisma.
An era.
An era.
We talked about a bunch of stuff to talk about tonight, and I was like, we could talk about eras, but we'll leave that for another day.
When I actually was like, I have a crush, they're all like kind of angsty and mean.
So psychological
trauma.
Yeah. Which I feel like the last like 2 crushes I've had really like took me and like spun me toward like good like health, because I realized like some major things about the type of people I like, and not just like, oh, they're a nerd. It's like I'm trying to like be something, and it's like, oh, I'm trying to fill that with that person, like in that person. Mm-hmm. So I don't actually like them. I like an aspect of them that I want.
Gotta catch them all.
You like intellectual.
Oh
men.
my god, yeah, that's so true. Yeah, it's like not a nerd, but they're just smart. They're smart. They can argue. They love discussion, because so do I. I will talk with you if we're like debating a topic, or not even debating, just like exploring it, getting into its nooks and crannies, if you will.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Getting into those nooks and crannies. Hey, want to talk about socialism?
Yeah,
Let's get into the nooks and crannies of socialism.
So I do
No.
like.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It's not this type of podcast. One of my crushes had like a very deep spirituality, and I was like, namaste. Like, yeah, I just mixed like 5 things. Oh my Lord. But like, I was like, I could be this person, but it's taught me a lot about like when I start to like someone again, like I like check off these things, and then I'm like, I feel like I can become more level-headed about it, while also allowing all of like the really fun parts of having a crush like be all those feelings of like all the giggles.
Yeah.
But humor is a huge thing. I feel like it's like generally a huge thing. Like a lot of women are like, if he's funny, then he's for me. But I mean, that's me too. But I feel like for me, like he has to have a very specific type of humor.
And he's got to catch on to yours.
Yeah. It's the
That's
collaboration value of mine.
So many times, like, men just want to be funny by themselves, and they're not that funny, maybe.
Well, it's because women can't be funny. They're not funny.
That's your opinion.
So men have to carry it, and then I just watch and laugh and giggle.
I inherit the funniness when I get married, but only when I get married, because I'm now not my family's property, but his property.
It's kind of like that one book, The Mirror Visitor. Except she inherits they inherit each other's family powers.
Yeah,
anyway,
okay, that was pretty cool. But yeah, spoiler.
What is that, a spoiler?
I mean, yeah.
I thought that was like well known. Okay, well, don't listen to what I just said because it's a spoiler. It's like that one book that I'm not gonna spoil for you. Okay, anyway, so humor. I feel like for me it's like the collaborative humor, but it's also like the willingness to just like take life very lightly for the majority of it. Like if you're like stuck in a like dark place and you can't like there's times to be serious, but most of the time I really like to just take it as it goes. Like for example, my sister and I almost got in a car crash where there was a bus in front of us and we almost crashed, and we were like in a very low car, and we slid so close to the bus, and we both just stopped and we looked at each other. And then like I don't remember the joke exactly. I'm gonna butcher this, but I made some sort of joke about like sliding right under the bus and then being like, we're good, like just hiding under the bus instead of crashing. I don't know. It's not that funny, but in the moment, hilarious. I need that collaboration of lightness, lightness, I feel like I love humor. Humor is like a lightness of something that's like serious.
It naturally goes with your optimistic life view.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it makes sense.
Yeah. And then like that improv, like just throwing stuff out. And if it fails, baby. So many times I've thrown out stuff and I just sit there and I'm like, oh my God.
You just sit with it.
Yeah. And then there's that one person across the room that's like, that's funny. And I'm like, that was for you. Oh, well, this is actually really interesting because I was talking about this to someone. Was it you? I don't know. But like when I make a joke, no, I think it was to Daniel. When I make a joke, I'm like trying to get the majority of the people to laugh. Versus Daniel was saying that when they make a joke, they're trying to get like at least one, like just one person to laugh. Like that's a win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I make a lot of inside jokes.
You do.
And like I kind of feel bad when I'm meeting new people and like, or maybe we're just not that close yet. Mm-hmm. And when I make my inside jokes with my close people, I feel like I'm very tight-knit type of person.
Yeah.
My circle is large because I've traveled where I've like had to move a bunch, mm-hmm. but actually like I prefer a close-knit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you're just trying to get one person to laugh?
Mm-hmm. I want like a personal one-to-one connection with them. I'm not just trying to make them laugh. I'm trying to connect with them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, me too. But I feel like like on the wedding trip that we took, I was like, there was like 2 people that were like bantering back, like throwing stuff back at, and I'd be like, and then this happens, and then they're like, but then they get, like it's like building these stories. Yeah. And then you call back on them later. Beautiful.
My face is melting right now.
You're hot?
No, my muscles are like relax time.
You have a fever. But I feel, okay, one other thing I want to say about this is because I feel like I was looking at this, I was like, almost, I would say all of my close friends and like friends that I count as important or valued are people who do this. Like that can like throw things back. Like if I throw something kind of wacky out there, they'll be like, oh,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
blah, 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 you know?
Yeah.
Like I can't think of a single friend that I have.
Wait, can you do an example? Like building the joke or calling it back?
Either mirroring it, at its most basic level, mirroring it. Like if I was like, this is so simple, but it's like, if I got in the car and I was like, shiver me timbers, it's cold out here, you know, like something like that. I did not put everything that I have into that. If it was real life, I would get in the car and do it all the way, but I don't want to right now.
Thick accent.
What?
A thick accent.
Shiver me timbers, it's cold out here. I don't know what that accent
Oh, the
was.
ship, yeah.
See, there we go. That's an example. That's like so simple, but like anything like that, and then like if they build back on it. Yeah, I can't think of a single. All the other people are just acquaintances. I just don't like when I like say something out of pocket and it's like just like the first thing that jumps into my mind. I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. Then and they're like, what? Or they're like kind of like, oh, ha ha ha. They're like uncomfortable or they don't get it. Like a lot of times people just won't get it. Like they won't connect it, and that's okay. Like it's just a different way that your brain works. But I'm like sad because I want to connect. I'm building my recipe list for humor. And it is connection, lightness of something serious, so like the opposite of something that's serious. So like satire is like mocking something that's really serious. And yeah, those are my 2 ingredients so far. We'll keep building.
Do you
Wear wigs?
Do you wear wigs?
When do you wear wigs? So what were you saying about your facial muscles? Your facial muscles? What were you saying about the muscles on your face?
I was really expressive earlier tonight.
And that's why we just sat down.
Yeah, that's literally why we sat down.
But I feel kind of like trapped right now. I don't know.
I want my water.
Okay, can I just say that I was brutal.
You were brutal?
Brutal.
Oh my gosh, please tell the story.
Connection to Dune. That was a reference to Dune.
They're brutal.
You've never met a Harkonnen. They're brutal.
I just peeked.
I think I know. Oh my, as you should. They're brutal. I think that I almost know every single line from Dune now that I watched it with my dad and I was quoting it. I was like, "Are you annoyed by this?" He was like, "No, it's kind of impressive." He didn't say that, but he like kind of looked impressed. I think I was like probably projecting that, but How to Make Your Father Proud. Quote the entire Dune movie. Okay, so let me tell you about this brutal experience that I had. It wasn't an experience more so that it was more so that it was my personality as a kid. I have always been a very romantic fellow. I'm not a fellow. I've always been a romantic gal, especially in my younger years. My sister told me a story of me and the neighbor boy. I was like, I don't know, like 7 years old, maybe 6 years old. That was a whole thing. We won't go into that. And we'll go into that later, whatever. But let me tell you this specific story because I kind of tell this to everybody because I don't, why did I do this? I'm so bad at reading signals sometimes. So I liked this guy at school, middle school. Let me put it in context. It was like, 6th grade? I just realized, should I just bleep the name just in case? I feel like it's cute then. If it's like, it's not like I don't know why I'm so nervous. I'm nervous.
I think you should just say it.
Okay, so his name was Emmanuel. And I just realized height has never been a problem for me.
No, it hasn't, girl.
He was short.
No,
so,
it has not.
We had this little like this unspoken thing throughout 6th grade. Oh my gosh. And whatever. I'm pretty sure he liked me back. But I wish I hadn't done this. I should have played this out. Anyway, he came up to me. It was his birthday. He walked up to me at my lockers, and he was like, it's my birthday. And I was like, yeah, happy birthday, whatever, man. I was so nervous. And he was like, he held up tickets to Chuck E. Cheese, or like whatever, like tickets for the games at Chuck E. Cheese, and he was like, for my birthday, we're going to Chuck E. Cheese. And for me, I thought he was flexing. I thought he was like going to Chuck E. Cheese, whatever, blah blah blah.
Context: Sage loves Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay, that's up for debate now. I've been thinking about it a lot.
Was obsessed.
I used, not obsessed. It's just like it's like a thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like,
let's go to Chuck E. Cheese.
The concept of Chuck E. Cheese. It's arcade games. That's what I like. Like, I recently went to arcade thing. You pay $10, you get to stay the whole day or whatever. It was awesome. Oh my gosh, go to one if you like any sort of games. Go. It was so much fun. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, he was like, going to Chuck E. Cheese, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, Chuck E. Cheese is Chuck E. Cheese is lame. It's for kids, or something along those lines.
Devastating.
And in the moment, I was like, I didn't think I had that much power. I was just like, I didn't think he was inviting me. He was inviting me. And later, looking back, he wasn't trying to invite me. And he was like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then he turns and he throws the tickets in the trash and walks off. And I was like, oh, no. I started to feel bad. And then I was like kind of a little bit more careful in the future.
When you told me this story, I was so stressed out. I was so stressed out the first time you told me the story. I was like,
I didn't know I had that power.
Did not just
legit. Whenever I think about my childhood crushes, I always think they have most of the power, because I'm like, I don't know. I'm just so easily, especially as a kid, I was so easily swept up into the whole. Like, I made a paper mache platypus head for one of my crushes.
Explain that. Go through that process for me.
We had study hall together. This was, what, 7th grade? Or was it 5th grade? I can't remember. I think it was 7th grade. Every grade I had a different crush. It was fine. He gave me the Lord of the Rings ring from the Monopoly game, because it comes with the free ring.
Aww, that's kind of cute.
And then he would put it on, pretend to disappear, and then take it off.
So you've been like a nerd since day dot.
Out the uterus.
Yeah. The utero.
Yeah. And so in Spanish class, I was like washing my hands, because we were about to like make a paper mache thing. And then this girl, she was like, so she was like orchestrating the whole thing. She was like, so Seth likes you. Do you like him back? He wants to know if you like him back. And I was like, it was the first time maybe
Seth?
Well, I was like, I have power, but I don't really want to use it. That's the thing. I was like washing my hands. I was like, I could say no, but I did like him. So I was like, what's the harm?
Yeah.
But then I knew if I had said yes, that there would be harm. I'd be in so much a stressful situation, because then I'd be like, what am I going to do? Like, he knows now. I said yes. And then I felt obligated to kind of low key though, because I was like, we were making paper mache. We could make whatever you wanted, but he really liked, I liked certain things that people were like, oh, she likes this and this, kind of like as a joke.
Right.
And so I was like, I'll make a platypus, because it's like my thing, and then I'll give it to him and he'll know it's from me.
Like a sign. And
he thought it was cool. He really thought it was cool. Oh, also after Halloween, because Reese's were my favorite thing, I'd be at my lunch table with my little close circle of friends. He would walk by, like, it was like the table right between like where he usually sat and like the lunch line, and he would walk by and like just drop off a Reese's on my tray, and then like I wouldn't even notice. I'd be like, oh, and then I'd be like,
why do you have like a K-drama man on you since
I don't know. I felt like I really didn't deserve it. I was like, when is he gonna stop? Like, I needed to know like at what point he'd stop.
It's so bad for you.
It was like a month after Halloween, because he got a bunch of Reese's. Maybe he didn't like Reese's or something. Anyway.
What kid doesn't like Reese's? Is he allergic to peanut butter?
He's like allergic to peanut butter, but he still wants to impress me, so he like eats Reese's with me.
When he
that
like smooches you on the lips, he like blows up and dies because he's allergic to peanut butter.
So that would not, no, that would, well, there's this other guy that just keeps going down the line. At the school lock-in, we kind of like hit it off, and then by the end of the lock-in, it was like an hour before they were about to let us out, and he's like, do you want to like meet up at Barnes & Noble or whatever? And I was like, we had just finished talking like 2 hours about books, and I was like, I don't really like book, like I don't like reading. I didn't want to go out with him. I just like liked the feeling of like, I don't know, being enraptured by somebody, like, you know, the chemistry or whatever. And I literally was like, I don't really like read, so I like couldn't think of anything else to say. And he was like, oh, okay.
What in the?
It was just so ironic because he was
read.
like, we had just finished talking for 2 hours about like reading and like all of our favorite books. He was like, I haven't read that one. I should read that one, blah, blah, blah. And then he was like, set it up perfectly. He was like, so do you want to like go to Barnes & Noble once? And then a year later, he took my friend out to Barnes & Noble.
Damn.
Which was fine because I didn't really like him. I just...
Are you afraid when you say no? Like, is it out of fear or is it just... Oh, okay.
I just don't want it to be like too intense. Like, I don't want him to expect anything from me.
You don't want to expect a 6th grade relationship? Do you think it's like a fear of being rejected at the end of the day, or it's like fear of being bad? Like, oh, naughty, you have a boyfriend.
No.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It's just like, I don't want to be like... It's probably like a fear of like being trapped in something that I didn't really... Because like, what, I had known him for like... I mean, I knew of him, but we hadn't really like talked. We had talked, but like the walk-in, you can't really make a decision like off of that. I was like high on chemicals or whatever, flooding through my body. It was like adrenaline, attention. Oh my gosh, I love it. I don't really read. I don't really like books.
I can't read, y'all.
I actually never learned to read after talking for 2 hours.
I was talking about audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have my mom narrate all of my books I want to read, and then I just play it
She
in my ears.
reads me to bed.
She reads me to bed.
Every night. How the
Actually,
cat
she did.
and the mouse.
Not every night, but...
How the cat and the mouse met and then fell in love in 6th grade.
Cat and the Mouse? What's that?
It's you and all your boys in 6th grade doing Cat and the Mouse. You playing with their little hearts.
Looking back now, I'm like, oh wow, I had a lot of power. But like, in the moment, I thought I was like the loser. I was like, I felt like just like a weirdo.
Where were you in the social hierarchy of the school?
Oh, the bottom.
Bottom?
But here's the thing. At that point, I didn't care. Like, I didn't have any like aspirations to like...
That's why you were cool. You literally didn't care about being cool. Like, you were just yourself.
I think it was like 8th grade that I started to care. That was it. Before that, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I don't want to say this, but in the middle of class, why did I do this? I took a blue marker and I colored my entire hand. This is like maybe 5th grade. I colored my entire hand blue, and I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Like, and then my teacher was like, she was in the middle of teaching something. She was like, Sage, go wash your hands right now. And I was like, I just got like called out in front of everyone. Also, my crush was sitting right across from me. He didn't notice the whole time. And then he was like really weirded out. And I was like in the bathroom, like I was like, ah. But I also just thought of a really funny story idea. If she had done this, but she forgot she did it. And then she forgets she colored her hand blue, and then she just puts her hand, like face palms or like, I don't know, like
falls asleep with like this in class.
But she probably wouldn't care though. That character back then, unless she was sitting right across from
Johnny B.
Yeah, we'll call him Johnny
B.
Except he'd
Johnny, will you be my boyfriend? Johnny
be
my 6th
Johnny
grade.
A, Johnny B, Johnny C. You know how middle school is.
Why is it like that?
Did you have any like? What was your dynamics with school, like childhood crushes?
I would make really impulsive decisions.
Like, let's go to Barnes & Noble?
No. Like, at the end of the year in 2nd grade, no, it was 1st grade, I had really liked this guy. And I just, like, I don't know how it ended up on my desk, but there's a piece of paper not in my handwriting, so I was so confused.
What?
It said, I like you, from Grace. So someone else
you wrote it to yourself.
No, I didn't. I swear. I wasn't hallucinating in my 1st grade
from
mind.
Grace.
No, yeah, this little piece of paper said, I like you, from Grace. And so I looked at it and I was like, might as well. Ran over to my crush's desk, dropped it off right in front of everyone, and then went back, was like, hee hee hee.
You didn't even write it?
No, I literally,
What?
God himself
Wrote
came
it for you.
down.
And
was
now
like,
you're married. 3 years married.
don't you see the ring on my finger? It's so big.
That's a beautiful story of how you guys met.
And then, like, the next year in elementary school, my friend Stella would ask me, like, who do you have a crush on? I'd be like, these two guys, because they're both funny. And I just, like, would have multiple crushes, and, like, I was pretty open about it. I think everyone knew.
Oh, yeah. No, when I was really young, I would say it out loud. I'd be like, well,
Yeah.
I like him and him.
But I was super afraid of my parents finding out. I was really embarrassed.
Really?
Yeah. That's why, like, even in high school, when a guy would make a move, I'd be like, no, get away from me. God. No. And I, like, one of them I wasn't even aware of. Until, like, literally in college.
I'm just now remembering all these memories.
Until literally college. Like, probably a year ago. A year ago.
Holy shit.
Your sister was like, remember this? Oh, yeah, he, blah, blah, blah. And I was looking through my photos. I was like,
do you think he'd ever
did
watch
he
this?
have a
Can
crush
we
on
literally
me?
tell the story?
Huh?
Can we tell the story? Do you think he'd watch it? He might.
That's a little too
It's
much.
too close to the history.
Yeah.
You know?
No.
So-
No. I don't float with the ocean waves like you do. I do not. I paddle my way
so
to the
what?
sand.
What's the worst that could happen?
He messages me, and it's like, what the hell are you talking about?
The worst
on your
would be
podcast?
that he messages you and says,
I
"Oh, I
block
didn't
him
have a crush on
immediately.
you." But then what? What would happen? You'd be like, "Oh, my
I'm
bad."
never going back to that state
Slanders
again.
him on- Man, it's too specific of a story to not be able
if you
to
know,
tell it.
hey, if you're watching, you're gonna know this is you. He called me at like night. I was like at a friend's house doing like a sleepover, and he just calls me. And at this point, I'm completely unaware that like there might be any sort of romantic thing at all. I'm just like, wow, he's just like really interested in like talking with me, and I'm like, I already said it. I already love discussion.
Like, he's part of the friend group that you had in high school.
Yeah. He's like, he's just like one of the guys, and
One of the guys.
he calls me and we like talk about government structures together. I'm like really enjoying it, and I'm like, yeah. So, but
That's how it all
like,
starts. Government
it's always
structures.
Government structures.
God, you're right. Actually,
Beat
why
in
is that
my
actually
heart.
accurate? Why is that actually accurate?
It really is though.
That's a downfall.
It's either a hit or a miss, and it's usually they're like a communist at the end. I'm
Oh,
like,
shoot,
gosh,
man.
dang it, why?
Because communist men tend to
Are
be
hotties.
more kind and gentle and feminine, and yeah, it's something that our generation likes. So.
I guess so.
N-
I just
Maybe
I
we-
respect your opinion, but also like, can we just like take a look at history, how it ended up?
how did it end up?
I'm not like pro America 100% to the freaking day I die. Eagles in the background,
with like flag waving.
Yeah. I'm
no.
not like that. Like, I'm open to new ideas, but communism, like, dear Lord.
It's a discussion that has to be had over and over and over for the rest of your life. And I love that conversation.
Really
We can
is.
always just talk about it because it's so nuanced.
sad.
There's so much to it.
I'm like, hee. And they're like, yeah, if it was a communist, then we wouldn't have to be doing this. I was like, oh God.
Maybe you're right. Oh my gosh. It's like suddenly you become like a different person, like Anne from Parks and Rec.
I just go along with it. I become communist.
The way your eyes
Wait,
lit up.
wait,
The way
what?
your eyes lit up when you said I
Is
become
this an
communist.
escape path for me from this doom-ended
No,
this
absolutely
conversation?
not. Red flag,
Okay.
red flag. Okay, so anyway, you're at this house. You're at this
Oh
person's
yeah.
house.
He was just calling me. He would call me like kind of often at night. And I was like, oh, discussion
2 a.m.
time.
2 a.m. comes around, discussion time.
The PM, and it's time for me to chit chat. I love chit chatting. And he like came over to your house, which I mean he did live close, but
Okay, you gotta caveat that though. we were all three in the car hanging out. He calls you and says, "Is there somewhere I can go? Like, or are you at house?
Do you want to hang out right now?"
Yeah, that's what it was.
Sure.
We were getting pho or something like that.
Yeah, we were getting boba. And he's like, "I've never had tea before."
Tea?
And he tries
tea?
Earl Grey tea for the first time.
Tea?
Yeah, he's never had tea
I did
before.
not remember that. I would have remembered that if that
He
was
like
real. That's
sucked
fake.
on the tea bag. I was like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
Oh, no, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like such a weird thing to do. I was like, "Sure, come over. Let's hang out. Like, friends."
There's one of the guys.
I mean, he was just part of the friend group, and I didn't really think much of it. But that was just a lot of attention, I guess.
Wait, okay, so...
Like, extra attention.
So she didn't know.
That
She never figured it out
register.
that night. But he came over to our house and was
Did
there
you?
until like 11 p.m., 11, like almost... And he's like, well, I better go. Did someone drive him home or something?
No, he drove.
He drove. And we like played card games. And I was like really tired, but I like felt like something was going on at his household. So I was like, well, we can chill. Like...
Yeah, I thought he wanted to hang out. He kind of lived far from the school, and so all of our friends, we lived over here, and he was like, like 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm over here, so you might as well. When did you figure it out?
I mean,
Like,
I kind
were you
of
aware at all?
I kind of knew it just the
Like,
whole time.
from the get-go?
From like, I think from Halloween.
How?
Okay.
Literally, I have
That's when I met him, actually. So I knew it from the get-go.
I have no memory of, like...
It's just like the fact, like, it's the way he looked at you. Yeah, I just said that. I just said it.
Cringing so hard.
It's the way he looked at you. He like looked at you at a certain way, like a certain angle. He came at it like at a 180. And it was like, I don't know. You could just tell, I guess.
I was also like super insecure and anxious and depressed and like...
He starts listing all of your disorders, mental disorders.
It was just a dark time, but I was good. I was like the moral good kid.
Oh, you were good morally.
Yeah, morally, I was really concerned for myself. And so I didn't want to get in trouble. And so I think, I was like, at the end of the day, goodness wins. Like, like that sort of vibe. And my friends, our whole group, they were like going through it. I made them like care packages. And like, we like Piper and I went to Target and like made them little gifts.
That's right, I remember that now.
And I was like, I really want to encourage them, like, and love them well, but I myself was going through it.
And I remember like long texts about all of your worries for them, and I was like, maybe figure out a way to get enough sleep at night.
I was awake. I was wide awake.
He was awake for most of high school. No sleep.
That's so true. Yeah, so I was completely blind to that. I was just in mother mode.
Maybe that's why he liked you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Reminds him of his mother. God.
Not again.
Not again. What do you mean?
I don't think I've ever reminded anyone of their mother.
What'd you say? Say that again for us.
I don't think I've ever reminded anyone, like,
yeah, me too. Yeah,
any crush
I
of
very
their
much
mother.
relate to that.
You?
I don't get it. I don't think I
Oh.
remind people of their mom.
No, because I don't think that I act like a mother, unless you're cray-cray.
You act like a father.
Let me lay down a few rules. Don't touch the thermostat. Don't make me turn this car around.
Wash your hands before you pick up that base, okay?
Base?
Don't get your freaking
Why did you
potato
just
chip.
specifically go to my father? He's like, don't touch the instruments unless you've washed your hands. Clean them after you're done.
You have to polish them, Sage, okay?
I wasn't that gross of a person when I was young. Maybe I was.
Kids just are dirty. They just collect.
They
like,
collect in every
grime.
nook and cranny.
Even like New York, newborn babies. Like you open their neck crevice and it's like dust in there. Like how did you even manage to do this?
How did you open their neck crevice?
You don't even know that you have hands.
Wait, what? You mean like a neck roll or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's so gross to
You
think.
open up their neck and perform surgery. You get out their breathing
Get
tube
all
and you're
that
like, oh my
dust
gosh,
out.
that's so much dust.
Girl, where you get all that dust? Did you know that dust is like 80% human skin?
Yeah.
I don't know if that percentage is right, but when I learned that, someone told me that right in front of like a dusty like thing in a basement somewhere, and I was like, I licked it. I was that kid. I was like, oh, that's cool. like trying to get their reaction. It's all for the laugh. It's all for the reaction.
You'll do anything for a little giggle.
I'd poop anywhere for the giggle.
This is why we get along. We do anything for a little giggle.
Unless it's gonna like impede on someone's health.
Okay, so you didn't laugh. Dang it.
Oh, your gobble. I thought of Thanksgiving and not of the giggle. I'm so sorry. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of.
So you knew from the get-go, and anytime someone likes me, I just don't get it until years later.
There's only been one time where somebody liked me and I was like, I'm so confused why you would like me. Like, not out of any place of like, I'm like not likable, but like, I don't know, maybe we weren't compatible or something like that.
That's my most toxic trait. I truly, to my core, think I'm unlikable. I'm like, why would they like me? There's nothing to like. Sure, I'm just like trying my best maybe out here, but I'm not worth liking. I literally, like, every time I come across me liking someone else, or I find out that someone else likes me, I'm like, what? I'm trying to work through that right now. But
I just feel like I look at you and I'm like, how could not every man on earth like her? Like, she's like
starts weeping.
I don't know, like, just look in the mirror and be like, damn, people better watch out today, because
I don't know where that comes from.
That comes from,
I mean, it's insecurity.
Okay, I was lying earlier. I was this person, I thought they liked me, and I was like, I don't get it, because they were such a great person, and I was like, you know how when people are like, this is really vulnerable. When people are like, they married up or something like that, or married down or something like that. That's how I felt.
Oh, that they were above you?
Okay, that's the dissonance. It's like, I look at people and I'm like, they're so amazing, like blah, 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 and this and this and this. But then it just, like, I don't put it towards myself a lot, like half the time.
Yeah. I don't understand how you go about that, because it's like, do you ever grow out of that, or do you learn how to love yourself in that way while you're in a relationship?
That's a good question. I think for the longest time, like growing up in like purity culture, I really thought it was like, you need to perfect yourself and then go for something.
Yeah.
But oh boy, no, absolutely not. That is so incorrect. That is so damaging and harmful, because like, yeah, there's this aspect of it where you're like, okay, don't get in a relationship if your father just died and you're going through like grief, or like, don't get in a relationship if you are going through like something very, like, you're processing through something that's important. You're just like, it's not like, realistically, you're not ready in this moment.
You just don't have capacity.
Exactly. You don't have capacity. But I also think that capacity ebbs and flows much more than we think it does.
Yeah.
Like, I've always thought of it as like, you grow your capacity, but it actually like waxes and wanes.
Yeah. It's kind of off topic. I'll mention it really quick. My professional mentor, we were talking about jobs, and like, someone told her like, you should be like the director of this role, and like, you should move up. And she was like, actually no, like, I have so many things that I'm investing in right now in life, like relationships, just season change, and it's actually not time for me to move up. And so she wants her capacity for her entire holistic life to be like available, and so she's not moving up in her career on purpose, which I thought was really like, I was like, huh. Like, I just found it interesting, because I grew up in like, you always move up, you always say yes to the promotion, go, yeah. And like, the other things in life, like, you just have to do them, and growing your capacity, and just strain yourself. That's rough, buddy. Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, it's not that she didn't have the capacity. She just wanted her priority of like the things that are more valuable than her career to take up the space in her life, which is really wise.
I respect her a lot.
Here's the thing, like, I've had friends, I have friends that have been in relationships almost like ever since they hit 16, like relationship, and I don't think that they were single for longer than like a week. And I'm serious. Like within the week.
What? I cannot imagine that.
Which it makes a lot of sense because it's a security thing. It's like you kind of figure out who you are within the relationship. But I'm not saying that's healthy, because I really don't think that's healthy. If you're in a relationship since you're 16 until you're married, then you don't get to enjoy the joys of being single. Like, you don't get to enjoy the beauties of just making a decision and not having to talk to anyone about it. Like, that is beautiful. My goodness.
It really is.
But on the flip side, if you are never getting into a relationship because you don't think you're ready, quote unquote ready, or whatever, which is kind of more on the lines of like the culture and communities that I grew up in, then you don't get to learn like really important things about yourself, because you're never challenged, never put under that pressurization. That's what I'm saying. Like, the last 2 crushes I had put me in a spot where I like really had to answer these questions of like, okay, why the heck do I not think that, like, why am I confused why he would like me? You know?
Yeah.
And that really, like, that was like the first question. Once I realized that was a question I had, I said, hello, Miss Therapist. So here's the deal. And then she like really walked me through a few things, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Can you share with the class? I would like to
benefit from basically from past relationships, I had like gotten some messaging, like, so first of all, past relationships, whatever form I had, like, I chose to like invest in those, and then they were reinforced. Like, I chose the person that I chose to invest in would be like of these characteristics, and so then they reinforced a certain message. So like, for example, the message that my voice doesn't matter, like what I say isn't valued enough to actually change what you're doing, you know, or like
multiple friendships and other.
I mean, yeah, that's been kind of like, I feel like in different severities, through like in different relationships, but it really is like, it's not those people. It's like who it's you and what you accept and what you're actually believing. And like, I didn't really see that I believed that until I looked back and I said, oh, in this situation where I really got hurt, I got hurt because, like, whether it's true or not, I was told this and I believed it. I was told that my voice didn't matter through, you know, a series of actions, not through them saying your voice doesn't matter. It was like, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to bulldoze past you. And I was like, okay, walk all over me. Why don't you?
Why don't ya? So it affects my future relationships and my crushes. Why don't ya?
But I'm so glad I had this crush, so that I realized like what, like, why, like, where is this stemming from? And then like, now when stuff like that comes up, I'm like, oh yeah, my voice does matter. I love what I have to say, and it's important, and I still struggle with that. But
sometimes a man is there to date you. Most times he's just a life lesson. For me, always he is just a life lesson.
They reject you, and then you're like, well, you're just a life lesson. So,
you know, when you look at someone in the eyes for the first time and you meet and you're like, oh my gosh, they're so attractive.
Okay.
But then the second thought, you're like, you're a life lesson to me. Oh, here we go again.
I don't think, excuse me, I farted. I don't think, okay, I've never thought about this like this before. Like, oh, this person's just a life lesson for me. Like, I don't think of my life and the things that I like walk through as life lessons. Like, maybe my migraines a little bit, because that's a recurring thing, but I think of it as like, I don't know. I like don't label it as that, because it makes me feel so disconnected from it.
Do you live in the now?
At my best.
Okay.
I live a lot in the future.
Yeah, me too. I'm
not like I don't like see myself in the future. I see the things I affect and the things that I can do. Like, I don't think of like myself in the future. I'm like wiser and better and beautiful and like slaying every day. Like, I don't think about
You do that
although I
today.
will.
You do that today.
I did?
You do that every day.
How you know about that? Just kidding.
I'm watching you through all your cameras.
I have privacy screens on all my cameras except for my phone.
I forgot how much of a security geek you are. I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? To my camera sometimes. How you doing? Just scrolling through YouTube when I shouldn't.
Do you believe in love at first sight? Why did I say it like that? Do you believe in love at first sight?
Do you believe
in love at first sight?
first sight, so we don't get copywritten?
We won't get copyrighted because we're singing it.
I don't sound just like Cher. What do you?
No, don't sing. We'll get copyrighted. We'll get a copyright strike. Hold her back. Hold her back.
Okay, so
Love at first sight. Is it real?
no, but yes, but no, but yeah, and then
I'm telling people it's real. It's
I don't know
real. Love? It depends on how you define it.
It's the follow up. It's like, why is everything working out so well?
At first meeting. Not like you see someone across the room and you're like, oh, I'm in love. We're getting married.
I think that's love at first sight. Is you look at them and you're like, I'm in love.
Well, for me, in my mind, yeah. But not in general. Like, I could fall in love with someone because of this narrative I felt like made up in my head. You know, I'm that writer.
So
it's
you
not
don't think
healthy.
it's real. It's unreality.
Yeah, it's really unhealthy for you. But love at first meeting is what I want to know about for you. Like, chemistry-wise. Like, let's say you have like 15 minutes of a conversation and by the end of the conversation, you have to decide whether you want to go on a date or not.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you ever had that?
Have I ever
interaction?
been on a date?
No. Have you ever had that interaction where you're like, if this person asked me out right now, I would go?
Yeah.
Start listening. Just kidding.
Start a whole list. A scroll. Should I take my scroll out? I'm very impulsive. That's
Me too.
my downfall. I'm like, can we just take it one step at a time, please? Because I've never actually engaged in anything romantic, like actually.
Yeah.
It's just like little fleeting moments, and so
Yeah.
so it feels like not real life. I'm like, I'll go all out, and it's like, Grace, this has consequences.
Grace, this has. But at the same time, this is what I want to tell people. Like, it doesn't really. I want to tell people in Christian communities that were raised in the Christian culture and purity culture.
Like toxic Christianity.
Toxic Christianity. It doesn't have it has like everything has consequences, but like why we're taking it so seriously. It's like it depends on your values, but like at the end of the day, like what's the worst that could happen? My heart, I could share too much of my heart with him.
Oh,
and he could hurt me. It's like, no, that is playing into like the opposite of what vulnerability is. Like, there's a risk that you could get hurt, but don't you grow from getting hurt? Like,
true. Yeah.
The beauty of life is trying things, and I mean, like, obviously don't like, risk everything, but like,
I mean,
you
protect
learn.
yourself and be smart, but like going on one date and like going on dates and trying to figure out what you like before you maybe settle down is smart,
One date ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Do you have a bad date story or awkward encounter?
No. I mean, yes, but I really
not
can't.
to share.
I
Not
don't
to
want
share with the class.
It's no.
Are you about to cry right now? Oh my god. I just looked into your eyes. I was like, what's going on in there? Speaking of crying, how many times did you cry this year?
Oh, this is a thing that some of my friends have been doing. They've been doing this thing where they on like New Year's, they send out a text like, okay, official guess for how many times you thought I cried this year.
Because every time they cry, they write it in their notes.
I do not do that.
For the entire year.
I can remember 3 times during this year where I absolutely lost my shit, cried. Like I've never cried like that in my life. Like, this year was really difficult at some points. But like actually like fresh, it was more like frustrated cry. I like sometimes cry when I have a migraine. I'm like frustrated about that pain, but like I don't know, I don't really count that. It doesn't really feel like real.
Because it's a recurring physical thing?
Yeah. I don't know. Does a cry count if it's not fresh and like new to you?
Yeah.
Well, then 250.
Then
No.
365
I wonder
days.
how many times I've had a migraine this year. That's what I want to know.
That's what
all
you
the
should
stats
keep track
for the
of.
year.
You
Guess
should
how
keep
many-
track of that.
Do you know how many books I read this year?
91.
Yeah, exactly. How did you know that?
I know you.
The last book I read doesn't count because I read it today. I started it yesterday
What is
and
it?
finished it today. Okay, book rec.
Welcome to the book segment. of
My
this
most
podcast.
read genre was fantasy. And then my third most read, my second most read was genre was, I can't remember, but I read a lot of scientific books this year, which were really fun. And it kind of got me interested in immersion journalism. So we'll be seeing if that pops up in my future. Okay, so the most recent book that I read is called Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Holy moly. Okay, I was like 75% of the way through, and I was like, I think I like this more. I had read, the first time I read her, I was like, I don't really like her. Like, she's fine. I just thought she was just like some romance writer. And then I read Happy Place, and I really liked it. Like, not unlike, this is the best book ever, but I was like, hey, this is significant. She's a good writer. I appreciate her. The characters are well developed. Then I read Beach Read, and I was like, oh, it's my favorite Emily Henry book ever. It's so good because it's about a writer. And then I read Book Lovers, started it yesterday, finished it today, and I was like 75% of the way through, and I was like, I think this beats Beach Read. I just like it. It's about a publisher or a editor or whatever. She works in New York City, and it takes place in North Carolina, which is really cool. And by the end, my official decision is that I don't like it better than Beach Read because the ending is too drawn out, but I still really like it. Anyway, those are my Emily Henry tier list. I haven't read them all yet, but.
Hi, Emily. I haven't read anything of yours, but
You'd like it.
I hear
maybe.
Sage squealing in the car.
Don't out me like, okay, I was squealing. I haven't read, I don't read a lot of romance because most of it's trash,
I hate romance.
except for Twilight.
I love romance.
Okay, I don't read a lot of romance, but because I get so annoyed by the main character. Like, usually, like, trash romance is like, please, just for the love of God,
don't
have
like
something
myself.
other than whatever the heck you're doing right now. Can you just, like, have an interesting character arc that you're going to go through? And Emily Henry, for the most part, does really, really beautiful juxtapositions with, like, grief. And, like, she does a lot of themes of grief. And, like,
Is Miss Emily okay?
well, maybe. Who knows? Maybe that's her little journal entry of the day. She, like, writes a novel. Or, like, this most recent character, I was like, dang, I have not read a romance character that is this uptight. Like, it was kind of beautiful in a way.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's very funny, too. Anyway.
Wait, are you talking about Mirror Traveler? Or Mirror
No,
Visitor?
not yet, but we could talk about...
Okay, let's talk about Mirror Visitor.
Wait, we need our recs for this year. So, book recs. Book recommendations.
Book Racks, Mirror Visitor series.
The
Would
Mirror
recommend.
Visitor. No, I'm on the same page with you. The
Yes.
Mirror Visitor series. I'm on the third book, and I've just been slowly going through that because I am absorbing everything. Tell me about it.
I zoomed through it. I was like, and borrow.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah,
but
it
it's
is.
not about the romance. Like,
And I love that.
yeah, the synopsis or like what it's about is like in the very beginning is about a marriage. What's it called? Arrangement.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Arranged marriage.
Yeah, an arranged marriage. And it is like about that on like 3 layers deep. She's I love her. She's like a beautiful animated character in my mind. Like,
And okay, so a little bit about the author. The author is French, and so she wrote it originally in French, and then she worked with a translator to translate these books in English. And so they have this element to them that I haven't really read in English.
it's strange.
It's just a little bit strange.
It's like Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, it fits the whole world and the characters so perfectly.
Because the worlds are like it's that world building on point, girl.
I want to walk through like a museum or something, or
Oh my
like
gosh.
interactive something.
Oh my gosh. Or I want it to be adapted, but I also don't want it to be adapted to screen because you know how that goes.
There's too many abstract things that cost a lot of money.
But with the right director, it would be beautiful.
That's true.
Like, it wouldn't be the novel, but it would be a film adaptation. You know, all my favorite adaptations are adaptations. They're not. It's exactly like the book. I feel like I was in the world of the book. You know.
Okay.
All the adaptations to screen that go wrong are the ones that are trying to get people to like it because it's like the book. Just don't do it.
It's never gonna be like the book.
Just go to your platform and do what you do best. Adapt it to your medium.
Yeah.
Why am I so serious about that?
The main character is like just real. Like,
yeah.
She isn't like a secret beauty, or like she just learns to love herself as she is. And she's like, you know what? I actually am strong. And I just love that. And everyone has so many flaws. Yeah. Like so many flaws.
It's like obnoxious. Like the character descriptions and then the flaws within the character descriptions. You feel so real. Yeah.
It's like, oh dang, these are like, they're like not actual people because it's weird. It's like Alice in Wonderland vibes. Yeah. But these are like, the author's just not afraid. Like, she's not afraid.
Yeah. Like, and not all the characters need to look beautiful, you know?
And it's okay.
I find that more beautiful. Yeah. Because it feels fake when it's like all beautiful people, you know? Because it's like
boring. It's like,
it is. Point? It is. It's dull. Like, when you don't write your characters to be like more like a variance in like appearance or personality, appearance, then authors tend to like show that they're like ugly through their personality, especially in like modern fiction.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you like Neil Gaiman. He does a lot of like character. Okay. Neverwhere.
2024. It's the year of Neil Gaiman for me, I guess.
I'll recommend 3. That's all you need. I like kind of went crazy 2020, and I read like almost all of Neil Gaiman's work. He might not be my favorite author anymore, though. Sorry. No, seriously, I think that literally we're just agreed that our number one book recommendation is The Mirror Visitor.
Okay, the ending of the entire series is a little...
Okay, I haven't read it, though, so careful. Careful. Tread careful. What? Okay. No. What? No. What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Wait. What do you mean?
What do you mean? But what do you mean? What do you mean?
I wish you hadn't said that now. I'm like so sad.
It's on Reddit.
Do you have another recommendation? Because
yes.
All that I need to say is The Mirror Visitor. Oh, yep, I have one more. The Mirror Visitor and the David Bod series. I don't know if I correctly pronounced that, but the first book is called City of Brass, and it is based off of Christian and mixed with Muslim folklore. It is so interesting. It's more about the folklore for me and the politics. The politics are really riveting. Okay, what's your other one?
I'm sorry. I'm getting a little sleepy. Don't mind me. Okay, my other one that I really love is the Silo series. I just like series. I just want the story to keep going. The first one, Wool. Wool is the book. It got adapted to a TV show. It's called Silo.
Did you watch the show before you read it? Did you watch the show before you read it?
No, I read most of the book before I watched it.
The remnants of humanity live underground in a vast silo. In this subterranean world, rules matter. Rules keep people alive, and no rule is more strictly enforced than to never speak of going outside. The punishment is exile and death. When the sheriff of the silo commits the ultimate sin, the most unlikely of heroes take his place.
Juliet, a mechanic from the Down Deep, who never met a machine she could not fix, nor a rule she would not break.
What happens when a world built on rules is handed over to someone who sees no need for them? And what happens when a world broken to its core comes up against someone who won't stop until things are set to right? Wow, that's written weird. Won't stop until things are set to right? Oh, things are set
To
to
the
right.
left, to the left.
Their
Anyways.
world is about to fall. And what? Who? Wow, I read that out of order. Here's the thing. These things are
Basically,
too long. That was not
yeah.
well written. Mm-mm.
I should write it.
Yeah, she has a surprisingly good talent at writing descriptions.
I just like short little things.
Yeah.
You know.
And I like to be like, and then chapter 5.
Yeah. And chapter 465.
And I'm on a word count of 4,000.
Yeah. I would really recommend it.
Why?
It's government, baby. It's government structures.
So it rizzed you. That book series rizzed you. Because
you would have talked about
it's that time of the night. It's time to call Grace and talk about government.
It is.
Okay, you sound like some sort of like really political person. Can I clarify? It's like political structure. No. Governmental structures. Like the concepts of these things. And for me, I'm more interested in the economics of it. Not necessarily on like I do like the foundations of governmental structures, but I'm more interested in like how it flourishes as a societal thing.
Definitely.
Which I think you're interested in too.
I definitely am interested in the
Economics,
but I also like what government is at the end of the day is just anthropology, and so it's like human behavior, assumptions that you're making about how humans act and how humans should act and what is best for humans, which I really like thinking about. And so government structure is like, okay, how do we exist as a community and as a whole, with all our flaws, not in a perfect world. And I think that's why. That's why I like it.
I like it. It's fun to like ponder and work out. And
yeah.
That's why I like storytelling, honestly. Yeah. I love it because you could kind of just do whatever the heck you want and see what happens.
Yeah, I like books and just people that ask what if it was different.
That's what I should have said to that guy that asked me to go to Barnes & Noble. I just like books and like people that say like what if. He really just went off the deep end and he said, what if we went to Barnes & Noble together and read a little bit. He wanted to go and read, not like buy books, but like go and read there.
Oh.
It's like, I don't think I've ever read at Barnes & Noble before. Oh, I have, but it was like a book I was trying to see if I liked. But like it was only one time. I only go there. I don't buy books anymore.
Okay, can I talk about books I don't like?
Okay, give us one book that you don't like, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Because what the heck were we even talking about in the first place?
The Court of Thorns and Roses.
Completely
overrated.
No, we're gonna get like trashed.
I don't care.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to be part of this.
Well,
I agree with her, but I don't
hate on me. I can take it.
Oh my god.
It's so boring and slow.
Did you even finish it though?
No.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's not worth it.
Before I can start trashing on it, I need to finish it. And I don't want to, so I'm not gonna trash on it until I finish it.
It feels like just a fanfic that just got published, but not that good. They're like trying to be sexy. It's like this mysterious fae and this poor human girl that gets. It's like shut up.
Okay, but oh my god, that.
I get it. You want to make it back to the human world, but you're literally not even living.
How long does she want to make it back to the human world?
Huh?
Because that's one thing that bothers me. It's like when your first desire in the very beginning is like the same one throughout, even as you're going through this fantasy world. I'm like, I don't believe you. If I was you, I'd be like, whoa, where are we? Like, I would want to like look around and see like this fantasy world. Like, I don't want to go back to the human world anymore. That's interesting.
It's just like the weight of the world is on this girl's shoulders.
Right. She's like Katniss, but her family hated her too. So it's like, why would you want to go back? I don't get it.
Katniss.
It wasn't believable.
Katniss is better. It wasn't believable. I want the main character to be curious so that I can find out more about the world. Mm-hmm. And instead, it's just like curiosity just for hatred. Basically, A Court of Thorns and Roses sucks. Sarah J. Maas, come for me.
No, it's not. Sarah. You can edit that Sarah out. J. Maas won't come for you. The entire millions of fans will come for you because they freaking love this series.
Just like read up on some. I don't know. I don't even know what I would recommend for them. Maybe therapy.
I'd recommend therapy. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Sponsored by BetterHelp. With BetterHelp. Just kidding.
I wish.
Please click on our Notion link.
Basically, I'm gonna trash on Actor later when I finish the first book.
Okay. I I respect that.
You can trash on it
respect
now.
not-
I just don't want to get attacked by millions of fans.
That's okay. I guess I just want to see like a movie version. That it's
they,
like
they
not
will be doing an
worth
adaptation because that thing's gonna get money.
listening to the entirety of that book
Yeah.
just for like the same thing. I like to track like my thoughts on books and different media I like. I have like a catalog of thoughts and opinions so that when people ask me, hey, what do you think about this movie? I can go and see if it's on my list or not. I use Notion to track that, which is like a note-taking app on desktop and mobile. They're synced, they're connect.
NOTION.SO.
That is how you spell it.
Notion.so, baby.
And we just happen to be affiliate. We have an affiliate link.
Don't even mention it. Don't even mention
Don't
it.
even mention it.
If you click on that link and you get an upgrade, you're gonna be supporting our podcast.
Our podcast.
If you know what I mean. And it also
Help
is
me
just worth
pay
it.
my rent. My
No,
rent's going
no.
up because I'm joining this new class.
No.
Yeah, so basically we have a unique link. If you like aesthetic note taking, and maybe just look on Pinterest and look up Notion. It's really pretty. You can customize it. I have some unique templates I made that are like more aesthetic. You can change anything in it, but I made them. They're published to the web, so you can make a copy and use it in your own personal Notion.
It's beautiful. It works.
you.
Yeah. I love it.
I love stuff like that. If you have a request of any Notions you want me to make, just let me know in the comments.
Ooh, that's fun.
Because that would be fun to make like a viewer requested
Yeah.
Notion template.
Yeah.
Then you can
And
use it.
she would.
I would.
She literally was like, I'm going to go make a sim of this person.
It
was great.
like Sims.
Well, it was fun hanging out with you, cuz.
Yeah. Thanks for coming over, cuz. Say hi to your mom.